Hi, today we're going to learn how to tap into and harness the energy of the new moon in Taurus for May 7th and 8th, 2024. I'm Laura with Heart Driven Tarot, where you receive intuitive insights from tarot to answer your burning questions about life, issues, and more. Today we're going to get 6 insights from the tarot deck about how we can best create peace, pleasure, and grounding in our lives. That's what's going to be our core focus. And the music selection that I recommend, I just came across. Now, I never saw this series, the Twilight series that came out 15, something like that, years ago. And there's an excellent soundtrack called New Moon, so it'll be appropriate for this reading. But it's a haunting melody, and so I think it's just relevant to what we're going to focus on today. Turn down the camera, and I'm going to lay out the 6 cards. And I will explain these just once I get my ding. All right, we will jump into the reading in just a moment. First card relating to how to inspire tranquility at home, and we've got the Empress. Address that. This beauty, I love this Gilded Royale Tarot. Next card, what lessons can you learn from nature? Ace of Wands. Take a look at that. The next card will address how to release unhealthy attachments to physical objects. The World card. So we've got 2 major arcana so far. Then the next card, simple pleasures to enjoy now. 5th card, activities to ground your physical self. Interesting, 5 of Pentacles. And then finally, how to manage overindulgence. We have the 4 of Cups reversed. All right, card number 1, the Empress. How can we inspire tranquility at home? Well, the first thing that always jumps out at me in this question is, and also in this particular image, the Empress who conveys, exudes that feminine maternal energy. She's in this beautiful environment. And out in nature, we see a deer, a rabbit. There are trees all around her. It's a beautiful environment. See a beautiful butterfly. And so one of the core and key elements or key strategies for inspiring tranquility in your home is viewing it as your sanctuary. So if you view it as a sanctuary, a place you come back to refresh, to rejuvenate, you want to make it as beautiful as possible. So that can be as simple as bringing in nature, flowers. Every week I get a bouquet of flowers, sometimes small, typically, other times larger, but it does add that essential element of beauty and of nature to my environment. So think of ways that particularly resonate with you to inspire tranquility, to soothe your spirit. That is what the Empress is advising. And the Empress is a very physical entity, being. She is all about that maternal energy, the idea of touch and of nurturing children, which is very soothing. So think of ways that you can soothe your spirit at home that will enable you to bring in and infuse more tranquility into your home. But I think one of the keys is to view your home always as a sanctuary, not just a dropping place for things to store away. Now, the next card is answering the questions. What lessons can you learn from nature? And we have here the Ace of Wands. And then we see this brilliant, it's representing the fire energy. And of course, aces are that initial energy. It's new energy. It's fresh. So what lessons can you learn from nature? Well, I would say that nature is always being like, it's about birth and death, realizing that cycle of life. And that a particular important lesson is to look at, okay, what new things can you give birth to in this period of the new moon? because that's what nature is all about. It's giving birth, then we have the cycle of life, and then it ends in death. And of course, the new moon is a time of newness. So think about nature and what, go out into nature, into the woods, into a park, by the beach, and just think about how that gives you, animates you, and makes you feel in tune with the flow of life. I think that's one of the most important things. And that fire energy that ignites your spirit. Now, the next card is answering the question, how to release unhealthy attachments to physical objects. And this is all about what Marie Kondo talks about in her books, about clearing clutter, etc., getting rid of things that don't spark joy in you. And so we have here the World card, another major arcana. The Empress was the first. So, of course, major arcana cards impart even heavier weight in a reading. And we see in this particular image, we've got all the typical images in this card, and this is a different rendition. We've got the angel, the griffin, I think it is, winged bird, the lion, and the ram with winged figures, and the woman in the middle dancing as she does in the World card. And we get the idea of the cycle of life, the beginning and the ending of something. So how to release unhealthy attachments to physical objects. Assess, go through your environment, go through your home, go through your car, go through wherever you put your items, and see, has this particular item reached the end of its cycle, of its utility? That to me would be a core way of releasing unhealthy attachments. Because of course there are all those programs on hoarders, etc. These are individuals who find it very difficult to release. They have an attachment to every single item and they store them more and more and more. But if you look at it from the perspective of the World card and realizing that everything has its natural ebb and flow and cycle of life, then once a particular physical object has reached the end of its utility, it's time to let it go. And you can let it go with joy. And as Marie Kondo often advises, bless it and let it go. Now the next card, oh wow, another major arcana. The Judgment card is answering the question, simple pleasures to enjoy now. Now this is curious, but in this particular, because the Judgment card I often associate with answering that angelic call, the clarion call of your spirit, of your soul. But in this particular image, we see these individuals who are dancing and looking joyful. It looks like they're almost ballet figures. Although one almost looks like a gymnast. It's hard to see probably. You may have difficulty. But they're all very animated. So simple pleasures to enjoy now, I would say, in this particular version of the Judgment card, is to move your body, to get into your physical being in very simple ways. Just simple movement, out walking. Perhaps you want to dance around your home in simple ways. Open your arms to life. Very simple ways of doing this is a way of enjoying more of life, tapping into simple pleasures. That's what's coming to me. And also tuning into spirit. Spirit, and here we see this archangel, will give you insights on how to enjoy those simple pleasures. Now the next card addresses activities to ground your physical self. And we've got the 5 of coins or the 5 of pentacles. Now typically this card is associated with being down and out. We have 2 beggars, 2 individuals who look pretty poor here. They're in tattered clothing. They look almost like they're begging. Their hands are out, which is more like the 6 of Pentacles typically. But in this particular rendition, we do see, though, the stained glass window, which is often in the church in the traditional Rider-Waite. And what this suggests to me as far as grounding your physical self is that even if you've been experiencing some difficulties in your health, in your finances, in your material realm, The answer is always tuning into and turning into spirit, which to me is what the stained glass window represents. You don't have to be religious, but it is a symbol for where you can tune into your higher self. So activities to ground your physical self, I would say, ironically, or it's almost like an oxymoron, is tuning in to your spiritual self for the insights on what would most benefit you. And then the final card, how to manage overindulgence. And we've got the Four of Cups reversed. Now, when upright, the Four of Cups typically is a situation. We see this individual perched, it's kind of lying back, reclined against a tree, and looking up at this cup that's being offered to him, coming from the sky, from the ethers. And then we've got the Three Cups behind him. Very much a nature scene. So how does this relate? But I selected it reversed. So how to manage overindulgence, I would say, is to, because I often interpret reversals as turning within, is to turn within and meditate upon your lifestyle and what's really important to you, because the cups are coming from the heart. They're tapping into the emotions, sentiments. And if you take time to turn within and quiet your spirit and quiet your physical being, you will tap into ideas of how to best manage any overindulgences you may have. Now for me, this is not, typically I can't say I would have a lot of overindulgences other than indulging sometimes in negative thinking. Overindulging in negative thinking is just still part of my psyche. But if I take time to turn within and tune into my higher guidance, it's easy to come up with ways to handle that, to deal with that, to transcend that. So overall, in this new moon reading in Taurus, which is talking about how to consciously choose more peaceful and pleasurable experiences, how to get grounded, is that we want to make the most of our homes, to create a sanctuary, tranquility, tune into what nature can teach us by observing nature, really getting into the ebb and flow of nature, the cycles of nature. And releasing unhealthy attachments, realizing that everything has its particular cycle, its beginning and its end, and just acknowledging that and letting things go. Simple pleasures is tuning into spirit. I would say moving your body, especially simple pleasures of life. Grounding yourself, really tuning into the connection with spirit. And finally, managing overindulgence, again, listening to your inner wisdom, to your intuition, and to what your heart guides you toward. I hope this reading has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And also be aware that if you do leave comments once a month, I will pay attention to your name. I welcome your comments. I welcome your suggestions for readings. I will consider anything that you have an interest in, especially if you're over the age of 50 and are wrestling with the changes, transitions that often come with being over age 50. I am open to a variety of topics to do these readings, because this channel is for you, for the viewers. And also, once a month, from any comments, I will draw a name. I'm starting this in June. I will draw a name and offer to do a free reading for that individual in an additional video. So overall, in general though, until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with tarot.